I recently paid a visit to the National Museum of Transportation in St. Louis, Missouri, for one specific locomotive, Southern Pacific 4460, which is the last surviving GS6 in the entire world. Well, you might be asking yourself, what makes 4460 so special when your cousin, the 4449, is so much cooler, painted in that beautiful daylight color scheme? Well, my friend, 4460 is a war baby. She was made during World War II and never received the daylight color scheme, and she's called the Forgotten Daylight because of that. Now, Southern Pacific 4460 was built during World War II, and specifically in 1943, which this meant she did not receive the side skirts and also did not receive the paint, which you see on now SP 4449. Just for reference, SP 449 was built in 1941, which, yes, the United States did enter World War II in 1941, but it was built early on, which Pearl Harbor happened later on. SP 446 is famous because of her paint job, and Southern Pacific is famous because of their paint job on their steamer trains. And it's very common, like if you see on 4014 today, you'll see it's black and gray, comparing it to the Southern Pacific steam locomotives, which are beautiful colors with the red and orange. But the reason 4460 is not famous is because it was never painted in the daylight colors, and it just looks like every other steam train. During the beginning of her career during World War II, she carried both troops and freight. Post-war, she carried freight and passenger trains. At the end of her career in 1959, she became kind of famous because she was one of the last steam trains in the United States to pull passenger service regularly. Obviously, still not as famous as her cousin 4449 because she was never painted in the daylight colors. In 1959, it was the end of the line for this train, which thankfully, instead of being scrapped, she was donated to the National Museum of Transportation in St. Louis, Missouri, which I actually got to visit her at the museum. Thank you to one of the employees who allowed me to go back into the area, which was off limits to the general public. Obviously, she's seen better days, and from the looks of it, she's been sitting here for quite a while, and it's sad to see her in the condition that she is. Comparing her to her cousin, 4449, I wish she could, be up and running again. My question to the museum is, why don't y'all restore her? She's the last of her kind and the first of her kind as well. It would be great to see another example of one of these beautiful steam locomotives besides her cousin, the 4449. I just wish that the museum would restore her instead of keeping her in the corner alone. She goes by many nicknames: the Black Light, the Black Daylight, the War Baby, the Forgotten Daylight, or I call her the Midnight. I just hope she gets restored.